guys, thanks for tuning in. This video I'm going to talk about absolutely everything that you need to know if you want to find a job or find some sort of employment while staying or living in Italy. Alright, firstly of course you have to actually plan how long you actually want to stay in Italy. Are you just here to see family? Are you just here to go to school? Or do you actually plan on staying here long term and finding some sort of job? The reason you have to decide this is because if you stay in Italy longer than 3 months, you will either need a work visa or a European Union blue card. Now that being said, if you are an English-speaking foreigner from the UK, Ireland, or some other country in the European Union, you won't actually have to get a work visa, so that will make things much simpler for you. If you're coming from America or Canada, there are going to be a few extra hurdles that you have to get through. So to get any kind of job in Italy, the visa is going to be the most important thing that you take care of first. Now typically to get a work visa or a European Union blue card is going to require a few things from you. Firstly, it's very important that you have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, and it's also preferred that you have up to 2 years of postgraduate work experience. This is going to basically show them that you're going to be a worthwhile citizen to their country. And it wasn't always this way. 10 years ago things were slightly different, but each year things seem to get more and more strict. So if you have a bachelor's degree, like I said, it's going to be ideal. Now, there are certainly lots of people who are watching this video who I know are more than qualified to go there and teach English. It's a very easy job. So there is the other option that you can teach under the table with a tourist visa. Now this isn't necessarily legal, especially if you're going to be working for a school, but if you're going to be doing some private work, perhaps for a family or a friend, it's not going to be really as big of a deal. Now I'm not suggesting that you go out there and do this, I'm just informing you that it's a possibility if you're really desperate to go and do that. Alright, so let's say that you get your visa and you're all set to leave for Italy. The first thing that you should do when you land there is you should go to the nearest immigration desk that is going to be closest to the school that you're going to be working at. Make sure that as soon as you get to Italy, you actually go there in the first 8 days, because if you go there after that, they will typically refuse your papers. Alright, now let's actually talk about jobs. You did hear me mention before that English teaching is going to be a very common job when you go over there. But for most young people, there are also some transfer positions that are available in Italy, but the most common absolutely is going to be English teaching. But for instance, let's say you work for the World Food Program and they offer you a chance to go work at their branch in Rome. That would be an example of a transfer position. This isn't a very uncommon scenario, but for most people, the absolute easiest way to get a job in Italy is going to be teaching English. Now, the actual qualifications for teaching English in Italy are actually not that extensive. To get the visa, you do have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, but this can be in any subject. Now, the only qualification you have to have for the teaching job itself is a TEFL or ESL certification. TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Second Language, and ESL stands for English as a Second Language. So these courses don't take long. There are some that can take as short as a few weeks, and they're not that expensive. Typically anywhere from $300 to $500 is what you can expect. So make sure that you just knock that out of the way and that you can put that you have that certification on your resume. Now let's talk about actually applying for these jobs. Now you can go online to do this, but it is of course more ideal to be in Italy on the ground, going to the schools in person and seeking out these positions. Because things like your physical appearance and the way you speak and things like that are going to be the most important in jobs like this. Now there are some instances where online you could be looking for a job and they require that you send a video of yourself. So that would be an easy way out of that. If there's absolutely no way that you can't be in Italy looking for these jobs. So once again, I just want to stress 100% it is very important that you are in Italy on the ground looking for these jobs. This is going to separate you from about 80% of the competition because most people are going to be doing it online. Now, the best time of the year to find an English teaching job at a high school or grade school or wherever is going to be mid-September to early October. Now, currently, as of mid-2018, the demand for English teachers in Italy is very strong. Thousands of English teachers leave their job every year, so the turnover is quite strong. So even if you don't get the job that you're looking for right away, it's not uncommon that you only have to wait a few months for some people to leave that position, and then there are once again the openings. So how about speaking Italian? Well, believe it or not, if you're going there as an English-speaking foreigner, this isn't actually so important. What is more important is that you go there speaking English. However, I do recommend that you just brush up on your survival Italian so that you can take care of basic things and have basic business communication while you're there. Alright, now let's talk about some things that you want to look out for. These aren't necessarily negative things, they're just some things that you might want to keep in mind before pursuing this sort of path. So when you land your first English teaching job, it is not uncommon for you to have to work weeknights and weekends. It's also not uncommon for you to have to be a private tutor or a private teacher. Usually when you're first going to work at these schools and you don't have a whole lot of experience, that's typically the kind of jobs that you're going to get. All of the funner jobs or the more desirable jobs are going to go to the people who have more experience. Do be prepared that for the first couple of months working this job, you are probably going to be staying in a hostel or some sort of undesirable living conditions. Now, all the teaching jobs that are going to be in Rome, Venice, Milan, all the major cities, all the most beautiful cities and most desirable locations are also going to be the most competitive places. So don't be afraid to look sort of off the beaten path and kind of stay away from the more popular neighborhoods and expect that you're going to have more of a chance finding a job, especially if you don't have experience in the less popular areas. So do be open to looking for work in sort of the small towns or even the villages or out in the country somewhere. It's not going to be the end of the world because of course you can be working in a smaller town that is near one of these more desirable cities. First benefit is that teaching English in Italy, Europe, or pretty much any other foreign country as a younger person is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's going to better you in countless ways, and it's also going to educate you in countless ways. Number two, Italy in specific is going to be an all-you-can-eat buffet of culture, good times, good people, and unforgettable experiences. And number three, Italy is not that far away from other really amazing European countries like Germany, France, Switzerland, you name it. It's not going to be too expensive to buy a train ticket and go to these places on the weekends when you're not working. So in conclusion, if you're somebody who wants to teach English in Italy or simply work in Italy, it is very doable for most people. It is of course just about how badly you want to do it and how interested you are in doing it. Just be brave, take a chance, you only live once. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but I do really love making these videos, so if you could please give this video a like and subscribe as it really helps me out, I would appreciate it massively. Anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.